What's the story? Crawfish.
Let the good times roll.
Suck the head and squeeze the tip.
Love me some crawfish.
Welcome back to Wook Plus and our festival series. I'm Kevin, joined by T and Mr. Michael Arnone. How we doing today, guys?
Doing good.
Hey guys, I'm in the fine state of New Jersey today.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, we got T out in LA there, and I am outside of Baltimore at an undisclosed location.
Bunker.
So I know you got a ton going on because you got a festival coming up there. So I was hoping maybe we get a little bit of the history, and then we can dive into what you got going on this year and give everybody all the details.
So the short version is I'm a union electrician. In the 80s, there was no work in Louisiana, and the Hackensack local called our local, said we had plenty of work. And I knew New Jersey was, up there in a corner somewhere. So I got my Atlas in 1985, and away I went. And, we get homesick. I wanted crawfish. I wanted jambalaya. So I rented a little park, and we had 70 people, 2 bands in 89. And it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It wasn't what I envisioned my life to be, but here I am 36 years later, still in the Crawfish Festival business.
Amazing.
There you
Awesome.
go.
That's fantastic.
What you got, T?
What a history. Like, what a cool, anything that you can keep going is awesome. Like, right? Like,
Thank you.
That's fantastic. Like,
and I'm only like 28 years old, so I don't know.
There you go. That's like legacy stuff. Like, that's fantastic, especially with the way Kevin and I talk about all the time, the way festivals come and go these days. It's
not
impressive.
easy.
Yeah, I am sure. So to have that longevity is awesome. So who you got on the bill playing this year?
So we've got GALACTIC featuring Jelly Joseph, George Porter, one of our favorites. Can I say that? John Cleary, we got Marcia Ball, we got Southern Avenue. Stanton Moore is going to have his own set with a trio. We got Marcia Ball, Bonarama, Rockin' Doopsie, Corey Harris, Carolyn Wonderland is playing for the Campers. United by Music, we got the Ocean Avenue Stompers coming up from Jersey. So we've got 2 Jersey bands playing this year.
Nice.
The big history
Good
there.
Lineup. That's a great lineup. That's fun. And you said who's playing just for the Campers? Is that like a late night show, or is that like just in the camping?
So for Friday is special for the campers. We'll have about 1,500 people camping in 5 different campgrounds. And Friday night we'll have free jambalaya for whoever's cooking. Camping. We'll be cooking. And then we'll have 3 sets. We'll have Amit Dutesh, we'll have Uncle Shoehorn's Big Easy, and we'll have Johnny Sketch, the Dirty Notes, up from Louisiana, just for the campers. And then for the campers, Saturday night, the day trippers will go home, and we'll have Corey Harris and Carolyn Wonderland will be up there.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't mention, we also got Eddie Ninevote coming. So yeah, it's a stacked deck this year. It really is.
I love it. I'm a big fan of the extra like late night shows or the bonus shows or whatever you want to call it that you get if you are there or camping or whatever. So that's awesome. Anything with that, I'm sold. Like that. That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, and you also get a mint for your pillow. Somebody asked me years and years ago, they said, Michael, do you camp? I'm like, no, camping is when you don't have a mint on your pillow. Right. And the best $100 marking idea I ever had in my life, I printed up 1,000 mints with the website on it. And the tent director, she went tent to tent. Michael would like you to have a mint. And she became mint girl 20-something years ago.
I love it. Another tradition that goes on there, dude. I love it. This thing sounds awesome. The more I hear about it, the more I'm sold.
And you gotta come down.
Well, what is the? It's at the Suffolk County Fairground. Is that where it is?
Yes, sir. Sussex County Fairgrounds. It's in Sussex County, New Jersey, which is northwest New Jersey, about an hour from New York City. What's funny, we tell people it's not the Rolling Stones, but we're pulling people from 26 states and 5 countries. Our biggest compliment, Kevin, is we get people from New Orleans to come to a crawfish festival in New Jersey. That's like the biggest compliment I could ever get. They're leaving home. They're getting on a plane and sleeping in a hotel or camping. That's huge.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when Kev told me about this was, where in New Orleans is it? You know, I was like, oh yeah, right. Like where is this one at in New Orleans? Like, no, it's in Jersey. I was like, what? No, what? And so then, but then the more you look into it, the more you see, you're like, okay, I get it. All right, yeah. And then that's a huge compliment there to have, people coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Even at home, I tell people what I do and they just look at me like, yeah, okay. So you have a crawfish ball in New Jersey. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
That's it. Basically.
Until you see it, because I'm really low key about it, unless you're going to buy a ticket or want to be a sponsor or interview it. I really don't talk a whole lot about it at home. For years, they thought I was a drug dealer. It's like, what does that guy do? He doesn't leave home. We see him on the phone outside, sometimes 2 phones, and we don't know what he does.
Amazing.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. So let me ask you this. What goes into curating something like this? I mean, so many bands that, how do you weed it down, or is it a matter of availability?
Well, you've both been in New Orleans, so I'm in Tipitina's. I'm seeing who's playing at the Maple Leaf, who's playing at Chiquiwawa, and the other clubs, Howlin' Wolf, and who's on the road. All these guys tour. GALACTIC will be in the Northeast 2 or 3 times a year. George, same thing with John Cleary. So probably in June, I start sending out my offers. Now, Sunday night of the show, we'll talk about, okay, what did we like, what we didn't like, who should we get next year? So I'll have it in my head. I'll make a wish list. And then I'll put offers out, and then I'll give them about 90 days to accept. That way, we're an anchor, and they can route themselves up and route themselves back. Nobody's going to make $100,000 at my show playing. So It's all in the routing. You make your money in the routing. You might play someplace on a Monday for $1,500, whereas I might give you $20,000 for Saturday. So It's all in the routing. And I have relationships with agents that will tell me, okay, Michael, you've got to hire this band. Samantha Fish, perfect example. Paige Stallings called me one time. Michael, you gotta book Samantha. So I never heard of her. He said, you will. And guys like that, Joshua Knight, the guys at Intrepid, because I don't know everything. I'll tell you. So my secret to life, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I know who is, and they work for me. So that's how we get it. That's how we get it. We see who's selling tickets, who's touring, who maybe we can catch up. Like we had Trombone Shorty one time. He was 9th on the bill. He'll never be at Crawfish Fest again. 9th on the bill ever.
Right.
He's as good as you can get.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
My granddad used to tell me, if you're the smartest person in the room, you ain't in the right room.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my little talent in life. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I want to be surrounded by smart people. I make the final decision, but guess what? I get the input of some really bright people.
Right. So we talked about the music, but the other component of this is the crawfish, obviously, all the food. You want to talk a little bit about how that works? I believe you have food trucks. Is that how it works? And then
Sorry, I stepped on you. So we have 2 food trucks.
Okay.
But what we like to do, like our Jumbolaya, it'll be cooked in a 20 by 20 tent with 5 45-gallon cast iron pots. They're this big. Each pot holds 80 pounds of sausage, 80 pounds of chicken, 75 pounds of rice, plus the seasoning. And we'll have 5 of those pots going each day. And then we boil in crawfish all day long. We've got some really, really big crawfish pots, maybe the biggest, but we don't cook them all at once. We cook them over the course of 2 days. So they're always hot coming out. We've got beignets. We've got po' boys. Someplace else you might call them heroes, hoagies, submarines. We call them po' boys. So we'll have catfish, oyster, and shrimp po' boys on Leidenheimer bread, which is a really good po' boy bread from New Orleans. We'll ship 3,000 loaves of bread up. So you come to the po' boy booth, we'll give you the po' boy bread, the seafood on top of it, and then you take it to the salad bar. You put the mayo, you dress it. We call it dressing.
You dress it how you want, right?
You dress it, mayonnaise, mustard, whatever you want. So that way you're making it yours. And then we've got crawfish étouffée. We've got red beans and rice. We've got grilled oysters. We got alligator on a stick. We've got a lot of adult beverages. We even have vegetarian red beans. That was a big step.
The beer list looked where the beer list looks. You do good with that, huh? A lot of local breweries, right?
We do good with that. We've got Wicked Weed. We've got a couple of IPAs. We do really good with that. And we've got other, drinks. A few years ago, we sold vegetarian red beans, and they would ask us, well, did you cook this with sausage? Well, yeah, but we pulled it out for you. Look, there's no meat in the dish. and we got a lesson that's really not vegetarian, guys. So now we do 2 pots, vegetarian, meat. Okay, we got the message. It took us a while, but yeah, we took the meat out for you guys. It's like
there's no meat in there. It was cooked.
Yeah, try to find
it's got the meat
in there.
flavor. It's got that delicious meat flavor from cooking in it, but there's no meat in it.
Yeah. I know. I was on a Lollapalooza tour one time, and they asked me to make a vegetarian jambalaya. I'm like, what is that? And they're like, it's no meat. So I'm like, what am I going to do with this? So I had pepper rings and onion rings, not battered, and they loved it. We wouldn't have touched it, but you know what? You play to your audience. That was what they wanted.
Right. So you don't try to put the fake meat in it or anything like that.
No. It's just vegetarian. It's no meat. No meat.
No meat, right?
No meat.
Now we can't say at one point there was no meat in that pot, but that day, no meat was put into that pot.
Right. I mean, all the food sounds amazing, though. I mean,
thanks.
Just you going down that list, it sounds very true New Orleans too. Like, I mean, it sounds faithful to it. So it's crazy to, again, see all this in Jersey, but it's awesome. I mean, it's authentic, and between the music and the food, man, it sounds incredible. Like that food sounds good. I'm starving.
You know what we tell them? The music brings them, the food keeps them, because half of our audience is from Louisiana. The other half love Louisiana, and they don't want Cajun style, this and that. You'll see I rarely use that word, because around the country, I hate to say it, but a lot of times they just put cayenne pepper on something. Oh, I guarantee you that's Cajun. It's not. Our food is seasoned, but it's not so hot that you can't eat it. Mm-hmm. We've got Blue Runner red beans from Gonzales, Louisiana. We've got, like I said, the Leidenheimer French bread. We've got our crab boil, which is similar to Obey, but it's not Obey. It's made on Plank Road in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's everything we use here is, we have community coffee. You've probably never heard of it, but if you're in Baton Rouge, if you're in Louisiana, that's what you're drinking.
Oh my God. So
That's
cool.
fantastic.
It really is.
What else are there other activities going on besides the music?
We have face painting.
Very nice. All right.
A lot of dancing, a lot of eating. It's not a carnival type thing. You're not going to see kettle corn. I get vendors like that all the time. It's like, we can do this. No, you can't. I want a Louisiana style festival in New Jersey. I could do that other stuff anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Well,
cool.
you said you had 5 campgrounds. You want to talk a little bit about how that's set up?
So we got Camp Madisonville, which is all the RVs. They have hookups. That sold out in like the first 2 hours. We've got Camp New Orleans, which is the original campground. We have 200 people in there, and they're the party. Well, you know what? Everybody's the party animals, but more so a little bit.
The extra party.
Yeah. We've got Camp Baton Rouge. We've got Camp Lafayette. There's a group from New Orleans called the Threadheads, and they camp as a private group. So we have TH Campground. It's kind of hidden on the website, but that's all Threadheads. If you're familiar with the Threadheads and how they met 20-something years ago.
They do a party during Jazzfest, right? Don't they usually have a party during Jazzfest?
Yeah, they do several. They do the Patry. They call it the Patry because somebody misspelled party at 20-something years ago. And then I went to the Thursday night party in City Park in New Orleans. So I saw a bunch of those guys there. But yeah, you know, they do a lot of good. They have a foundation, and they loan musicians money to record CDs. And if the CDs sell,
cool.
then they pay it back, and it goes back into the fund for other artists. So they've given out each year, I think it's a couple $100,000 in grants to artists.
Wow, that's truly beautiful, giving back to the community like that. I mean, that's what it's all about, because it's got to be hard to be a musician these days. Harder than it was 5 years ago, pre-COVID. I mean, just crazy
tough.
though. Crazy. Yeah, you've talked a lot about jambalaya. If I wanted to eat jambalaya at home, could I do that?
Yes, sir. So years ago, I took my made-from-scratch recipe to a blending company in Louisiana and said, let's create a mix. So on my website, crawfishfest.com, we have a link to my online store where you can buy my jambalaya mix and make it at home. Thanks.
Very nice. Very nice. So you're just adding meat to it. It's everything, right?
Yeah, it's a rice dish. You know what jambalaya is. So the rice is in there with the dehydrated veggies, the seasoning. And so you boil water, and you put first you brown your meat. You throw the water in there, and you throw the rice and the seasoning in there, and 20 minutes later, you got jambalaya, and impress your date. What a great chef you are!
Sounds amazing.
I hear you. So what
of all of our festival ones, Kev, this one's making me the hungriest, I will say. Like,
that's our job, man. That's our job, man.
Sounds amazing.
Thank you.
It's so fantastic. So why don't we throw out you can go to the website, get tickets. Can you buy tickets at the door if you want to show up?
Yes, sir, you can do both.
Jackpot.
All right. So that girl gets the pinball because she's all over the place. Sandy, I'll call you later. She heard that. She's gonna kill me. So our website is crawfishfest.com with a link to Eventbrite. And what's really cool, if you scroll down, a lot of our musicians got interviewed by our MC, Allison Kaufman of Morning Mojo. And a lot of the musicians have actually got a video on our YouTube channel.
Yep.
So Rob Curio from GALACTIC's on there. We're about to do Stanton. I think we're going to do George. John Cleary's on there. Marshall Ball's on there. It's some interesting stuff. Allison did a great job with that. And tickets will be available at the door also.
For the past 3 years, I've been chasing John Cleary. I interviewed the guy who owns Basin Street Records. And I was like, can you hook me up with John? He's like, best thing is to get a hold of his wife. And I'm like, I don't know his wife.
That's how we are in Louisiana. Yeah. Just call it a cousin down the street. Or just yell, John.
Oh, it was fantastic.
So John's
great.
going to be on our Big Easy cruise. I help promote that also.
Okay.
When you talk to John, ask him about my pig roast in Cozumel. Might have been one of the coolest parties I've ever had at the Fat Tuesday on the dock in Cozumel.
Nice.
Wow.
And when is this cruise? What part
The
of
cruise
time
is
of year?
in the cruise is in January. So we've got Trombone Shorty, we got Marcia Ball, we got Cleary, we got Anders. And if you use the promo code CFF on BigEasyCruise.com, you get a special invite to my pig roast.
There you
What
go.
was really cool about the pig roast was I invited the musicians. So we had Cleary and his entourage. We had the Blind Boys of Alabama there. We had Dwayne Dupsy. We had Frenchie, the painter. We had the Pine Leaf Boys. And it was just really cool. It was like 60, 80 of us eating pork and drinking beer. It's maybe one of the coolest parties I've ever put together. A pig roast in Cozumel. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that's God.
Yeah. Well, I was part of a pig roast once, and the spit broke. It like kept sticking,
no.
so we had to sit up all night and watch it. And like 4 a.m, there's a picture of me half asleep, and the pig's on fire from underneath, and it was just a mess.
So you could have just called that blackened and went with it. Oh, it's Cajun.
I always joke the blackened is when we got to get rid of it. Just blacken it. No one will know.
Yeah. That's what I always said. A few Yankees came in there, and what is that? Ooh, it's blackened. Because I was living in Jersey when that happened, the blackened phase, and they were blackening everything, Or I saw one place had jambalaya served over rice, and I'm thinking, what is that? Because I don't know what that is. Jambalaya served over rice. But yeah, they just messed it up. I've seen some stuff. And what's funny, guys, is every writer I get from the artist says no Cajun food. So I was on a gig in Seattle a few weeks ago, and I was talking to the guys from Trombone Short. 3 of the guys from Trombone Shorty's band was there, and we're talking about it. And they said, yeah, we've had some strange stuff. They think they're going to impress us. I was talking to Michael Doucet a long time ago, and I said, Michael, your writer said no Cajun food. I said, you eat my stuff. He said, yeah, but did you ever eat Cajun gumbo in Waterloo, Iowa? So I get it. So
Something's not right here.
That's funny though that they specifically point that out. Like, don't try to.
Yeah, don't try. We want a deli. We want a
Right.
deli tray.
Right.
In my writer, I'll tell them, you're going to get jambalaya, or you're going to get real vegetarian red beans, and they're good with that.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that at all.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to throw out?
Just everybody have a good time. We're a family event that drinks. We've got one family that's been coming. So this guy's parents, Damon's parents, came to the very first one. Now Damon's grandkids are coming, which makes 4 generations of a Crawfish Fest in New Jersey.
There you go.
Sometimes I tell people what I do, and I got to show them a picture. No, really. This is the main stage, the crowd. Look at all these people. No, really,
It's legit.
What I do, because
Yeah.
nobody believes you. You do what?
And it takes a year to do, which is crazy that you have to invest, starting in June. You're like, I'll start in June for the next year, right after it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we start that Sunday night of the show. And Monday I'll drive back home and I'll call, hey, what did we like? What we didn't like? Who do we want to book next year? And we just start, letting that sink in. And then I get my offers ready, and, it's always something going on. And, tomorrow I got to meet with a new security company because my security guy is not feeling well, and we wish him the best. And he said, Michael, you got to move on 2 weeks before the show. So I had to come up with a security plan, and okay, these are the 9 posts where you're going to put them for this many hours. I'm like, I've never had to do that, but you know what? You do what you got to do, whatever it takes. That's what we tell people. Whatever it takes.
It must be crazy, like to that point. Like we said, running a festival on its own's got to be its own monster. But the things that pop up like that I'm sure you have to deal with, and things that you probably never had to deal with before, even in the all the years that you've been doing it, new shit still pops up, and like to keep going through it and dealing with it, it's pretty impressive. And then to run it as well as you do and have it go off as well as you do and as authentic as it is, it's really impressive. Like, congratulations. Like, I'm really blown away. It's really cool.
Thanks. You know what I tell people,
we'll
guys?
Get you out here next year, T. Me and you'll go up to it next year, because it's not enough time to get you out here.
No, I know, and I can't.
You know,
definitely.
I tell people I'm just a string that ties it together, because I've got people that's been with me. My buddy Luke's been with me since '93. The same guy's been at Will Call for 25 years. You know, the guy's running camping. If I had to micromanage all those people, I couldn't do it. And they're all troubleshooters. You know, if it gets to me, it's huge. Oh, Michael, the power went out. You know, what are we going to do? Okay, let's start getting generators. You know, or this or that. Mike, tornado just came through 1 o'clock in the morning. Should I get a generator that's going to cost me $3,000? And I did, and the power didn't come on till that night at the show.
Wow.
So we ran everything in 1999 on one big generator. And at 1 o'clock in the morning, I had to make that call. Do I spend $3,000 to get a generator out here by 7 in the morning? I lucked out. It worked.
Crazy.
You know, and that's the biggest thing. I've got and again, I'm surrounded by great people that work with me.
Well, that's good, but it also speaks to how much they like doing it if they've been there that long and continue to come back every year.
You must be a good boss.
Right, because there's a lot of jobs where you're like, do it once or twice. You're like, screw that. Like, I'm out.
Well, every year, you know, Sunday night, even me, I'm never doing this again. I quit. And they all say the same thing. And then Monday morning, we're back at it. Okay, we're back for about 4 hours. Y'all can have this. We're never ever going to do it again, and I don't care about it. And then we all wake up. Okay, Michael, let's do this.
How are we going to do it better next year?
Yeah. Let's make it better. Oh, we can do this. We can do that.
I love it. That's great. That's great.
All right. Well, Michael, thank you so much. We're going to put links down in the show notes so everybody can find what we're doing. If you haven't before, please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel.
And Michael, you said you guys have a YouTube channel. Is that what you said that has?
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah. We'll put the link to that too.
I was gonna say we want to put that link down there too that has videos and stuff on it. So very cool.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
I love Marsha Ball, long, tall Marsha Ball. God bless her.
So I first had her in '94, I think.
Wow.
At Suntan Lake, this little bitty tiny place that on a real stage, and we're like, oh, man, we're getting big. Because years before that, we were on a drum riser under, you know, a pavilion, a little pavilion. That was our stage, a drum riser. Unreal.
That's crazy. And now look, that's awesome. Look at that growth.
Who would have thought?
Look how far we've come.
Exactly.
Bess is looking down on you. He's like, that guy's all right. All right, thank you, Michael.
He tries hard.
He does try hard. All right, thank you so much, everybody out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Hang out, Michael, so we can get the recording.
Fascinating, absolutely fascinating.